Good morning and happy Saturday. My name's Michelle. I'm with Olive and 2U Studios, and I am so happy to welcome you here today. Today is a very busy day here in the studio, and I'm so happy to see so many of our Yarny Ewes here. And if you happen to be watching us later, welcome to you as well. Some of our Yarny Ewes are already in Scotland, I think, and I see some that are going to be in Scotland. So yeah, hi Deb. She said she's just nearly finished packing. She has to decide which shoes to wear and pack the other pair. I know, I'm still in the middle of that too, Deb. Lorianne is here, Katrin's here, Lonnie's here, Jamie, Tara. Oh, I love it. Terry, all kinds of people are here. Welcome. So today is going to be a bit of a shorter podcast because I'm a little further along being ready than I thought I was going to be by this time this morning, but I still have a list of things to get done. But we have things to talk about here because it's been an interesting couple of weeks. I'm happy to say that I'm feeling perfectly fine now, 100% better. And I'm so happy for that. Hopefully, since I got sick just before we left, hopefully that means I won't get sick on the trip. So that's good news as well. Hi, Valera and Tish and Cindy. Love it seeing everybody show up. So let's jump right into it. Now, I'm going to warn you, we don't have any whips today. There was no time to put that together, but I'm hoping when I get back, we'll do a big parade of all the beautifully basic tees that were put together and in the process of being knitted for our super summer sweater make along. Because today we have a winner for our super summer sweater make along. And that reminds me, the video is done for this past week. I'm hoping to get it posted for you today. And it's a short video. I'll be straight up with you. I got really off track with everything going on, so I apologize for that. But here's my progress on my beautifully basic tee. So I'm going around and around, and you can bet this is going on the plane with me to Scotland. I'm hoping with any luck I might get it finished whilst I'm over there. You can see I've got my cute little, they're all in all sorts of strings here, which is kind of funny. I'm going to tell on myself. One of the things that I talked about this week on the video for the beautifully basic tee was how I find it easier to knit my ends in along, to weave them in as I go, because I don't like all these strings hanging down, but I haven't done it yet. I haven't had time to do it. But there's my cute little Highland Ewes stitch stoppers. I love them so much. And then I have my London Underground stitch marker there because I'm not going to London, but I'm going to the UK. So there it is. And this is going to be going on the plane with me. Thanks, Lori. I appreciate that. She said it looks beautiful. I love the color. I do too. This is our gorgeous Amber Solstice yarn dyed by Sherry and Terry of Lonesome Pine Yarn Works. When I saw this color, y'all know, I was like, I have to have something in that color. I love it so much. So this is my beautifully basic tee. It may not get done while I'm in Scotland, partially because we've got all the things to do while we're over there. And the other reason is because I'm thinking I'm going to make this one a long sleeve version. I have more need for long sleeve sorts of garments and sweaters since we're living here in Maine now. So I think I'm going to make this a nice squishy long sleeve one. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Deborah. Thanks, Rachel. She says she loves the color as well. I do too. I'm so excited about it. So that's going to be heading over with me because that is some fine airplane knitting right there. That is perfect. You don't have to think about it. I'm just knitting in the round to get that length on it below the sleeve separation. And yeah, that is like perfect airplane knitting and social knitting if I've ever seen it. So I could watch a movie. I could have a conversation with Jem and just make like tons of progress on this. I worked on this on the airplane, also headed to Florida when I was down there for Solely Socks and our play ball event. And I made good progress. My sleeves are separated. All those things are happening. So I'm in really good shape with my beautifully basic tee. So, but we have a winner. If you'll remember, the grand prize was a $100 gift card to the Olive and 2U shop. And I am very happy to tell you that the winner chosen at random was Jill Pace. So congratulations, Jill. I'll get your gift card out to you this morning via email so that you'll have it. You don't have to wait for me to go to Scotland and come back. We'll make sure that you've got your $100 gift card to the Olive and Two You shop right in your email sometime this morning before I head out of here. So congratulations, Jill. Congratulations to all of you that are working on your beautifully basic tees. I know some have been finished, some are still in progress, and that's perfectly fine. Don't forget, we still want to see your progress pictures. And I would love it if you would put it on once it's completed and take a photo, and we can do a whole BBT parade in the Yarny Ewes in photos, not an actual moving parade. And I think that would be just a lot of fun because so many of you chose to add design elements. Like we've got striped BBTs. We've got some, I think, that might even be faded. Got some different things going on, short sleeves, long sleeves. And I want to see how you've customized your beautifully basic tee. Never fear if you're not that far along. I know we've got some of you like me who are nowhere actually close to being finished. And that's okay because y'all, I own this business and I am a sloth knitter extraordinaire. Let me just tell you. So there's nothing wrong with that. But still post your progress pictures. And I'm so proud of some of you for whom this is your very first sweater project. I'm so proud that you sort of moved outside of your comfort zone and decided to give it a go. So I know there's at least one of you, I'm not going to say any names, but most of you will know who it is, who said at the beginning, we'll see how long this takes before it turns into socks. And last I saw, it hasn't made that magical metamorphosis yet. So kudos to you. Keep on keeping on, as they used to say. I love it so much. It makes me happy. All right, because I was intimidated by sweater knitting long ago and far away. Well, not that long ago and far away. Let's see. I started knitting in, I want to say it was probably 2016, maybe 2015. So I've been knitting, gosh, has it been 10 years? So about 2 years before the business began. And sweaters were like, I don't know what kind of voodoo magic sweaters are, but I couldn't do that. And then turns out I can. So I'm always so impressed when you are willing to move out of your comfort zone and try something new, because I'm here to tell you 99.9999999% of the time, you can absolutely do it. You just got to be patient and go step by step. So all kinds of good stuff. Terry Turner says she's a first timer for sweaters. Congratulations. That's awesome. I love it. And she's doing the DK version. So, which I like too. And it's super quick. Speaking of patterns, before I get to yarn, just before I came on live, I was winding up 2 hanks of yarn because I'm planned to take another project with me to Scotland that I haven't even cast on yet. Now, I'm not going to tell you what this is because it might make an appearance in the Yarny Ewes, maybe a knit along later on down the road. One of our longtime Yarny Ewes brought this pattern to my attention and I fell in love with it. And so I don't want to give it away, but I am going to show you the yarn I'm using. It's 2 contrasting colors. This is our Sugar Daddy from Olive and Two You. I love it so much. It is, gosh, you really have to see this color in person. I know that it looks like this kind of neutral color, and it is a neutral color, but it has a shine and a sheen to it. Even just the color does. This happens to be in Rawlings, which you know does have that shine and sheen because of the silk content. But let me get my yarn going here. But just the color on this, Terry was able to like illuminate this with dye in a way that is really, really special. And I love it. So this is Sugar Daddy. And then, oh gosh, I want to say maybe Mushroom. So this is our poppy yarn. Maria Klein, many of you know, she used to have a indie dyed company called Fat Bunny Yarn. And she dyed this up. We now sell her poppy yarn. She doesn't dye it anymore, but we have quite a stunning collection of poppy. And it's a slub yarn. You see that texture on it? It's a nice slub yarn. And so it provides this great amount of interest and, well, textural interest to any kind of project. And so what we're doing here is we're putting together kind of this smooth Rawlings that has the silk in it, the merino, the silk, the cashmere, really squishy, with this slub yarn so that you've got that contrast in both texture and color. So this is a wearable, but it's not a sweater, as you might have guessed from the fact that it's only 2 hanks and I'm a big girl. So no sweater is going to be 2 hanks unless I've got a sweater for my thigh. I'm just saying. But it's a wearable in the sense that it's not a shawl that drapes. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to tell you. And I love it for that reason because when you put it on, there's no there's no there's no draping or trying to keep it on your body. So that's what I'm taking with me to Scotland. I told somebody the other day, I was like, they were like, what projects do you take? I'm like, well, definitely my BBT. And I don't know, maybe I'll find a project over there. And then I was like, ooh, I want to do this one, but that means I have to find my yarn. I have to find the right needles because there's 2 different sizes of needles that are required. Find the needles and the notions because it takes multiple stitch markers in different colors. But thankfully I have my Cocoa Knits flight of stitch markers, one of the sets here that are get it to the camera, Michelle. There you go. It's why can I not do this? There we go. They're little round stitch markers in an array of colors, so those will work perfectly. And I was like, I just have to gather all the things, and it's kind of a mystery whether or not I can gather all the things in time to get them packed. I think I've gathered all the things, so this is going to go with me. Now the trick is, can I find room in my suitcase? Because I gotta tell you, I was all, oh, I'm not going to take like that many sweaters. I'm going to take like 3 sweaters, and I'll have plenty of room in my suitcase. Oh my gosh. I'm not taking just 3 sweaters, and I don't have that much room in my suitcase. So, yeah, I'm going to have to make choices, but I'm pretty sure this is going to head over with me as well so I can get it started. I made a big show the other day of saying I prefer to cast on projects at home when I'm traveling and not leave them to cast on the planner when I'm traveling. Yeah, that's not happening this time. If this is going to go with me and I have any hope of getting it done, there's no way I can get it cast on before I leave. So I'm just going to take the yarn and trust that I can get it done. And yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. That's what I'm telling myself. It'll be fine. And oh gosh, now it's unwinding. Here we go. And as a friend said the other day, so when you're saying it'll be fine, are you trying to convince yourself? Or are you trying to convince me? Yeah, I'm trying to convince myself it's going to be fine. So Mary Nielsen said, don't forget a project bag. Yes, definitely a project bag. But I've got like my backpack, my carry-on for the plane, and then I've got my purse. So I think I'm going to pack a project bag flat in my suitcase and put my yarn and projects in it once I get over there, and then I'll have my one or both of these in my backpack or purse on the way. It's always like trying to figure it all out, right? So Deb says, once again, I think I've gathered too many of all the things. Yes. All right. So that's what's happening there. But I want to move on because we had some really neat things hit the shop this week. First of all, I wasn't able to do the live on Thursday, but I did a live on Wednesday night in the Yarny Ewes with Nancy Victorino, who has designed the squishiest of bulky weight cabled hat patterns called the Highland Hat. She designed it, and all of our Scotland travelers got a free copy of it and 2 hanks of yarn so they can make 2 of these wonderfully squishy cabled hat patterns. But we have also stocked the shop with our beautiful Atwood yarn, which is exactly what you need to make this cabled hat pattern. The link is down below in the show notes to pick it up on Ravelry. It's called the Highland Hat by Nancy Victorino of Knitwise TE, and it is beautiful. It is also fast because it's a bulky weight hat. You don't see a lot of bulky weight hats. They're out there, but you don't see a ton of them. And the Atwood is super squishy, wonderful yarn, and it knits up so stinking fast. Now, I said this on Wednesday in the Yarny Ewes, and I want to say it again. This is another one of those cases where if you've been eyeing cables and you love the look of them, but you're thinking, yeah, I could never do that, or that's really intimidating. I don't know that I could manage that. I don't know that I'm ready for it. This is your chance to dive into the world of cables. It's bulky yarn, and we all know anytime you're trying a new technique, typically it's going to go smoother for you if you're using a larger yarn, larger than fingering or lace for sure, that you can kind of really see easily and get your hands around. And this is a perfect opportunity to do those cables. Now, you do need a cable needle, except you don't really. So you can do cables, well, you can do them without a needle, but probably not if it's your first time. But all you need is something kind of on the straight side that's kind of small That's all you need that you can slip the stitches on to do your cables, and cables are really easy. All you're doing is skipping stitches, and you use a cable needle to put the stitches on hold while you're skipping them, and then you slide them back on and knit them. Like, that's all it is. And this is a braided cable, so again, you get a lot of bang for your buck. So the link to the Highland Hat Pattern is down below, and then as well as our Atwood yarn is all linked below as well. Sherry and Terry have dyed up some gorgeous colors for you. We've got neutrals, we've got bright colors, we've got more demure colors. So whatever your hat knitting vibe is, we have a color to fit you. So, and I really recommend that you choose a couple hanks because number one, it's relatively inexpensive. Number two, it's quick project. And number three, perfect Christmas gift. Perfect Christmas gifts. You could bang out a whole lot of Christmas gifts by banging out those hats. And you get to learn something in the process. So how cool is that? Okay, talking a lot, got the dry mouth going on. I'm all excitable today. All right. Beautiful, beautiful colors have hit the shop this week as well. One of them is brand new in the shop, and I love the name of it. It's so punny. I love punny names. This is Rust Issues, a play on trust issues. I'm sure you got that. You didn't need me to explain it. There's Rust Issues, a beautiful, rusty, autumnal color. I love it so much. It is not Amber Solstice. They are different colors. I'm just saying, let me pull a cake out for you. Definitely different colors. Amber Solstice is brighter, a little bit cheekier, and Rust Issues is more demure, a little darker, a little more rusty. I love it, and I'm not beyond needing something in this as well. I'm just saying. So Rust Issues is here, great autumnal color. And then we've restocked A Cuppa, which sold out the last time we had it. This was the colorway that they dyed up sort of to commemorate or memorialize my love of tea, but it could be a cup of coffee as well. Beautiful, again, a neutrally speckled color. So you've got some great speckles in there. Look at those. When I hold it up close, you don't see the color really well, but you can see the speckles really well, which is what I'm trying to get at. Beautiful, beautiful. You've got some tonality in the color, some darker beiges, some dark browns in the speckles. And look, how great are those together? You could do a sweater with Rust Issues with A Cuppa in it, and it would be absolutely stunning. I'm still kind of, I think, in my neutral era right now. These really, really speak to me. And then, of course, we do have more of Midnight Rider, which is this great navy, and I love these together. Denim and Pearls sold out like lickety split. All of these colors go well with Denim and Pearls. Look at those colors together. I love them. So you could do a 3-color shawl with these. If you happen to have been one of the lucky ones to snag a skein of Denim and Pearls, you could do a 4-color shawl with these. And I'll tell you, I think it's a Stephen West pattern, the Sea Swell shawl. I have to be really careful when I say that because I end up sounding like, what is it? Sally sells seashells by the seashore. So the Sea Swell shawl, I think it's a Stephen West pattern, and you can do it in 3 or 4 colors. And when I saw those colors together, including Denim and Pearls, which I have over there, I didn't bring over here today, it looks fantastic together and would be a great 4-color shawl. I'll tell you who else does great shawl patterns that are typically sometimes even 3 or 4 colors. She gives you options is Tammy Gore. That's Tammy with 1 M, Gore, Tammy Gore. She does great patterns like that as well. 2, 3, 4-color shawls, and they're always really stunning. So if you like the constellation of colors and you're like, I love those, what could I do with those? Check out those 2 people, Stephen West and Tammy Gore, and you're going to find the perfect pattern. I see Rachel going, I wonder if Rachel's thinking about a sweater. Don't forget, we can absolutely do sweater quantities by special order. All you need to do is shoot me an email about that, and we'll get it all sorted. Now, I want to mention a couple things about that while we're talking about emails. I'm going to be in Scotland, like tomorrow morning at 6:45 Scotland time, like 1:45 US time, I think. So that said, I will be checking my email, but Wi-Fi is a little dodgy, as they say in the UK, in some areas, especially on the islands up in the Highlands. So it kind of is in and out in some areas as we're traveling. So go ahead and send me an email. Just please be patient if you don't hear back super quickly. It probably just means that my Wi-Fi is dodgy, or I'm probably not going to be like sitting on my email as much as I do typically, because we're going to be petting coos, we're going to be doing needle felting, we're going to be shopping for yarn and doing all kinds of fun things. So I'm going to be actively engaged out there doing the fun things in Scotland with our Yarny Ewes travelers. But I promise I will get back to you. If you don't hear from me, say in 48 hours, I typically say 24, but if you don't hear from me within 48 hours, just give me another email, another little nudge, and I will get back to you as quickly as possible so that Sherry and Terry can get your yarn dyed up if you're looking for a special order. So great things in the shop. The gift shop, Monica has also updated our gift shop listing with some new goodies, and they are beautiful. All kinds of fun little goodies in there. We definitely have special things coming for you every single week. Next week, I'm dying to tell you about it, but I'm just not going to do it yet. Next week, there's something really, really special coming that might involve a main maker. Main made is a really big thing up here, and I've had the pleasure of meeting some fantastic main makers, and we've got something coming next week that might just involve a main maker. So you don't want to miss that. It's going to be really special and really fun. It might also involve a pattern. I'm just saying. So every single week while we're away, there are new and fun things hitting the shop. So don't think just because Michelle's in Scotland and some of the Yarny Ewes are over there, there's nothing happening in the shop. There's plenty happening in the shop. And Monica's going to be at Needleworks getting your orders out quickly like she always does. Plus, I happen to know, a little birdie told me that Monica's got some pretty cool features up her sleeve for while I'm gone. So you definitely want to pay attention to what's happening in the Yarny Ewes. So the time difference from the US to Scotland, Lonnie, I think right now is 5 hours. I think it'll change in November when we drop back, then it goes to 6 hours. But right now I believe it's 5 hours. So let's see. Let's say it's 10 o'clock here. We're about 7 minutes from 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. 10 o'clock here, 3 o'clock there. So there's definitely that time difference. Now, I will have access, as I mentioned, to text messages, email, and even phone calls. And if you are traveling with us, if you haven't already done so, do contact your cell phone provider. Make sure that you've got service if you want to do that. There's so many different ways to do it. Sometimes you can buy a SIM card over there and put it in your phone. You can buy a burner phone over there. There's so many different ways to take care of that, but you want to have some sort of communication while you're there. And then I just do want to remind our Scotland travelers, if you're not already across the pond, please make sure that you have my phone number with you. So before we meet up, if anything goes awry, which isn't going to happen, but if you need to get in touch with me for even happy reasons, like, oh my gosh, I just found this fantastic yarn at the shop, you got to get over here quick. I want to make sure that you have my phone number handy so that you can reach out to me. So if you are traveling and you don't have it yet, get it from a buddy. If you see somebody over there already who has it, or let me know you don't have it and I'll make sure that you get it. We do have games, by the way. Of course we have games, and I meant to bring them over here and I didn't. So a couple different games, and I'm going to be posting in the Yarny Ewes some game threads. So the way it's going to work is we have our photo scavenger hunt, which has become traditional for our travelers over in Scotland. There is a list of things that you need to take photos of. There's going to be a thread in the Yarny Ewes where you need to post those photos, check them off on your list, sign your listing. The first person to give me a completed list is the winner. I don't know what the prize is going to be yet, but we'll make it a good prize. And then for folks at home, you're going to watch that thread as well. And you're going to need to guess where we're at from that photo. So Yarny Ewes who are traveling, don't tell us where you're at when you post the photo, and make sure and post it in the official game thread so that our Yarny Ewes at home can make guesses on where you are when you take the photo. And I'll be monitoring that, and we'll have some winners when I get home. So you can absolutely travel vicariously with us if you weren't able to go with us in person to Scotland this year, but we always have fun games happening along the way. And then we've also got fun things happening. Number one, the Highland Hat is one way that you can knit along at home in the Scotland spirit. And we've got something else coming up soon that has been designed for us that is also very Scotland oriented. So pay attention to the shop, and there are kits available, and it's a super fun pattern, and also has a Scotland theme to it. So there is plenty to do along the way, whether you're home or whether you're traveling, lots to do to get in the spirit of travel to Scotland. And then, of course, those, in addition to the pictures for our scavenger hunt, I'm really hoping our travelers will continue to post pictures in the Yarny Ewes so everybody can see where we've been and what we've been doing and all the fun that is happening. I can't wait to pet some ewes again. My husband knows I am such a sucker for petting zoos or animals. I talk to them. It's embarrassing. I'm like, oh, you're so gorgeous. So I can't wait to get my hands on some ewes again. And then, of course, that wonderful tea that we get at Kitchen Coos and Ewes. We get to go for the Love of Yarn this year over in Glasgow. We're going to be in Glasgow one night at Lisa's shop for the Love of Yarn, which, let me tell you, is becoming quite the destination yarn shop. Patty Lyons has been there. I want to say maybe Stephen West has been there. There have been some other knitting celebrities that have been at For the Love of Yarn, and we get to go. They're going to kind of explain the shop, let us have a shopping experience and some fun there. It's going to be a really good time. Of course, we're going to Ginger Twist, going to Dovecot Studios. We're going to go to Solway Landscapes on a really beautiful campus and do some Scottish landscape felting, and all kinds of fun things are happening. So as I mentioned, you get to travel vicariously if you weren't able to go along this time. All right. So I think that's everything to cover today. I have got packing to finish up, and I'm going to work on getting that BBT video hopefully posted before I walk out the door today. And all the things are happening. I want to say once more, I said it in the Yarny Ewes group this past Wednesday, or was it Tuesday or Monday? I don't remember. I want to say again how very grateful I am for all of you. It is always a joy to own a small business. And one of the things that I love about it is being able to get really connected to our customers, but not just customers, to our friends, and getting to know you, hearing about your triumphs, hearing about your struggles, and getting to be kind of along the journey with you. And it's a lot of fun doing that. One of the downsides, as I mentioned, though, is when your feet get knocked out from under you for illness or whatever, you're the only one that's shouldering it typically. I mean, I've got staff, Monica's great, but it's up to me. And you all have shown me great grace as I've been ill. I'm 100% better. I'm fine. But knowing that there's an audience there that cares makes it less stressful when you're sick and unable to really respond the way you want. So I just want to say kudos to you. Thank you so much. Please know how very grateful I am for your support, your purchases, your kind words, and all the things. It really means the world to me. It's all about relationships. It's all about people. And that is one of the greatest joys of my life in being part of this business. So thank you very, very, very much. We're going to pray for safety for all our travelers, and looking forward to meeting up and keeping you at home informed as well. That is all I have for you today. I told you it'd be a little bit short. Thank you so very much for being here, and we'll keep you informed, and then we'll see you in the Yarny Ewes. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.